Blown transformer has left residents of Fontainebleau in Randburg without power. City power officials are on site, but they can't seem to start the repair work. Let's find out why. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtila out in Randburg for us. So they're on site, not doing very much. What's happening? Morning.
Well, it's actually closed off now behind me, this substation in Fontainebleau, as of course it blew up, we understand, just over the weekend. No electricity here for more than 24 hours, and we do understand there's an issue between City Power being the ones that are supposed to fix what's happening on the ground, but it has to be at the mandate of Eskom. Let's just get some information. We're supposed to speak to the councillor, but we see some of the residents are on the ground here. Maybe just to get a better understanding of what's happening while the councillor is not here yet. Let's talk off. Thank you for joining us at ENCA. When did the electricity go off here, and do you know maybe what caused it?
Well, my name is Matuto. I'm a resident here in Fontainebleau. It went off. We had load shedding for 4 hours, and then we didn't get electricity. During that time, that's when the cables were cut off. And to my understanding is that how can they just switch off the whole substation and get that far, cutting 18 cables? So we just found out now from Eskom that it's actually someone that knows exactly how to operate the substation. It was actually switched off from the main board, and then they had access to the cables. We thought it was due to load shedding, and it's not. It was actually switched off.
From the main board of Eskom, let me come to you. And you mentioned cables that were cut off physically here, substation. Maybe give us more details on what you know happened here, and who's supposed to even be guarding here?
So who is supposed to be guarding here is unfortunately not something that I'm aware of, but we do have 3 different security companies in the area that patrol and monitor suspicious activity. Now the question is, how did they not pick something up during the period that they had broken in, Friday evening, Saturday morning? And I mean, angle ground is not something that's quite silent. So in that process, everything had been stolen. They had cut the cables down to the brim, and well, that's from my understanding. And it took quite a bit of time to resource the parts, get hold of it, and then the whole procurement process and things like that. They are fortunately busy repairing. They've dug the trenches, and hopefully by the end of today we'll have one transformer up and running, and maybe tomorrow the second one, also depending on how things progress throughout the course of the day.
And we've seen some of the videos that have been circulated by the councillor, Nikki, which suggests that there are issues between City Power and Eskom. While City Power wants to repair, do the maintenance work, it had to get mandate from Eskom. Has that been resolved in your knowledge?
No, I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of that. I'm much aware in the security sector, not that one. I don't want to delve much into that. You're
more in the security sector. And I'll ask maybe security issues as well, because we understand, Fidelity had a 3-month contract of worth R500 million to protect some of the infrastructure of Eskom. You say you're in the security industry, knowing maybe who's supposed to be guarding here?
I'm not specifically sure with regards to this substation, but with the other substations, we got them, and we've never had problems as far as that is concerned. So I don't want it to sound like it's a marketing thing, because I'm a resident and I'm affected. So within our group, I offered to guard the substation until everything is sorted. Then we can come as community to decide who will be able to guard this, and if they decide we do it, then I'm very pleased to do that. As a resident, I know that I can be rest assured that the substation will be safe, because we are in the community, we are in the area, our footprint is widespread, and they know about us, but I don't know why this one is not part of us.
So this is the one substation that you don't guard, your security company personally?
We don't guard it.
Okay.
But here we are, we're the only ones that are here, no one else.
That are here actually protecting the substation. Do you have knowledge of the issue between City Power and Eskom, and how soon will all of this be resolved and the people of Fontainebleau have electricity?
So I can't comment on the difference and knowledge and understanding between City Power and Eskom, but what I do understand and know is that there was an issue of procuring parts, because City Power is reliant on Eskom to provide those parts, which they managed to resolve yesterday as we were able to source the parts here. But you mentioned the question early on about the security companies in the area and Fidelity with the $500 million, I think it was, which is quite interesting because they just renovated the depot 2 streets back and we don't even see any of their presence at this point in time. Renovated depot.
And here, in fact, Nikki joins us now, the councillor of Fontainebleau here. Nikki, just maybe the latest update. Has that issue, I understand there was an issue between City Power and Eskom. Maybe explain what the challenge there was and has it been resolved and when will the people then have electricity here?
So the issue that happened was this theft occurred around 3-4 a.m. yesterday morning. And City Power was waiting on site the entire day for Eskom to arrive to come and issue a permit. Eskom only arrived at around 10:15 last night to actually issue that permit because the sub at the belongs to City Power, just that building, but the rest of the transformer and the infrastructure all belongs to Eskom.
So when will people have then electricity? And the lady mentioned she has a security company. This substation is the only one that they don't guard. Who is supposed to be guarding the substation, given that this is at the hands of, I understand, cable theft?
Yeah, so City Power does have a security company. They're called Lender Security, but they're in charge of guarding every single substation across the city. So it's far too large an area for them to cover and have 24-hour cover on all these stations. We have made pleas to Eskom because this isn't the only sub that this has hit. In October of last year, Windsor was hit by the exact same syndicate, it seems, modus operandi, and we are now appealing as the city. It's not really the right thing to do, but there aren't enough security companies within City Power, and Eskom's not coming to the party to help secure these subs because all the infrastructure gets stolen on the Eskom network, not at the City Power networks.
All right, thank you very much. That's the councillor of Fontainebleau and some of the residents, of course, on the ground here as they've been for days without electricity at their hands of cable theft. They were cut off, we do understand, during load shedding in the early hours of Saturday morning, in fact.
So the residents now, Aviwe, saying they're going to come and guard this particular power station and substation if they have to do it to try and keep the power on. That's the sort of situation we're in. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtila on this unstable grid in Fontainebleau. We now recognise, of course, there's been no power there for more than a day, and right now it doesn't look like it's going to be on any time soon.